so paying the debt on these high interest cards may be very challenging, sometimes even nearly impossible. However, when you start paying this debt, you gotta quickly find out which method is more effective. Is it the Dave Ramsey snowball method or the Money Guy's snow avalanche method? Now, before I'm gonna tell you my personal story and how we paid off $40,000 of the debt, let's quickly see the differences between these two methods and, more importantly, which one will be more effective for you. So let's start from the Money Guys. They recommend this method called Snow Avalanche, and basically what this method recommends is paying the highest interest credit cards first, no matter what the balance is. So let's say you have 4 credit cards and the biggest balance card for you is $10,000, and this card also has the biggest interest on it, which is 24.9%. Look, I know it might be slightly high, but just bear with me for this example. Then you have another card with $5,400 on it, but this one is at 19.9%. Then the $3,400 balance card, and this one is at 14.99%. And finally you have the smallest card, and this card is at 22.9%. So with the Snow Avalanche method, you would obviously pay the $10,000 credit card first. Obviously that's because it has highest interest, but then in this scenario actually the smallest credit card would be second to pay off because it has the second biggest interest, and so on and so forth. So this is obviously wiser mathematically and maybe more logical method. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it's better. Now with Dave Ramsey's snowball debt payment method, this works totally different. So using exactly the same example with the same credit cards and interest, even though the smallest card is rated second as far as the interest go from the top, but you would basically pay it first. And in this situation we actually don't care about the interest rates, because once we pay off this small credit card we jump to the $3,400 card, and all these steps will actually give us motivation to pay the next credit card off until we finally hit this grizzly bear of credit cards, which is the $10,000 card. Now if you're looking for actually more logical method, which one can save you the most money, then of course the Snow Avalanche method will be better because you save more in interest. But see, the situation here is if you start with this $10,000 credit card, even though you will be saving more money in interest technically, but at least in the beginning it will be very difficult to actually feel the progress of it, and this is exactly why some people give up before paying off their first credit card off. Now I'm not saying you will do the same, but that's just something to keep in mind. I personally use the other method to pay my credit cards off, and that's even before I started to watch Dave Ramsey, because it was really easier for me. So we had total of like $40,000 on credit cards basically, and on some cards we just had balance of $1,000 or $2,000, then on some other cards few $1,000, and then finally I have my Capital One card which was like $11,000 to pay off. So when I started to see that the smallest cards are paid off, it really gave me boost to pay the other one. And the most important thing is, because I was seeing some progress, it kept me motivated to basically pay off all the credit cards. Obviously not right away, it took some time, but that method definitely worked for me. And I'm not saying this is a better method, but probably for more than 80% people it will actually work better, even though it doesn't make much sense mathematically. But because owning the money on the credit cards is not a mathematical problem, it's actually more of an emotional problem, because we buy stuff we shouldn't even buy in the first place. That's why this is so effective. But then on the other hand, if you really have discipline and you know this time you're serious and you're gonna pay off these credit cards no matter what, then sure, you can go with the Snow Avalanche method, as long as you're willing to stay with this journey all the way to the end. So this is it for this video, but something tells me you really wanna watch this video next, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Cheers!